What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to something a bit different today. We haven't done one of these in a while. It is a tier list, but I'm basing it on, as you can probably tell, the Overwatch 2 characters and what I personally think of them, how good I think they are, do they need improving, and stuff like that. So if you do disagree or agree with any of the characters I put in this tier list and where I place them, let me know in the comment section below. I love reading the comments on these videos to get an idea who thinks I'm right and who thinks I'm wrong. And if you think I'm wrong, please do let me know where you would rank these characters in the comment section like I just said. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more tier lists in the future, drop a like on it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1.5k. And yeah, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch recently, as you lot know. I'm very familiar with most of these characters. I've played most of these characters by now, and maybe some of the new ones I made, you know, I've seen a lot of people play them, so I get to kind of rank them off how much I like them and how much I've seen other people use it. So I'm going to try and do it off of popularity, but are they good? Are they bad? Different kind of things. So, yeah, man, let's jump into this. I'm excited. They've got all the characters here, as you can see. As always, first of all, we have everybody's favorite mech. It is Diva. Obviously, her special is ridiculous. It is the emergency exit, as I like to call it. Um, you basically jump out of the mech and it sends your mech into a group of people and explodes. The only problem I have with this thing is the range. The range on Diva's mech for her special is ridiculous, and how quick she gets back her mech obviously does depend on how many kills you get. But I have seen a few times where people don't get any kills and then they also get their mech straight back as it is. So, as a character, I don't think she's too OP as she was in Overwatch 1. Personally, I think in Overwatch 1 she was a lot more OP and dangerous with her normal mech. But personally, I think in this one, her normal mech and herself are not, how do I put it, not as scary as they were in Overwatch 1, where her special, I feel like her special is still the same. I think they nerfed it once in Overwatch 1, but they need to try and sort out the range a little bit on this one, if not the cooldown. I think she's really fun, personally. I played a lot of Diva in my early days of Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2, so I don't know. I'm I'm thinking purely because of the special, I'm gonna put her A tier. She's very easy to pick up, very easy to use. She's one of the characters you get from the start, so it's not like you're gonna have to wait to use her or anything like that. I think she's a lot of fun, especially if you main her. But I feel like the only thing I would nerf on her is her special a tiny bit. Maybe add a bit of cooldown on there. Maybe add a smaller radius or less damage or something like that. I do think it's a little bit annoying, but as a whole character, I think she's pretty cool, and I think she's not super OP, because I feel like her mech is a little bit underwhelming sometimes, but her special is ridiculous. So up next is Zenyatta. I feel like in the right hands, this character is decent. I've never really played Zenyatta often. Um, Obviously, I do know a few people that like to use him, and he does have aimbot with his, hand abilities and stuff like that. When attacking the enemies, he has aimbot basically. He doesn't do loads of damage, I don't think. But his special is pretty cool. Obviously, it makes a massive aura of healing and protection and all that kind of stuff. And it does come in handy in some clutch situations. For example, you're pushing a payload or the robot and you're about to win. Just to get that extra upper hand in the last few seconds of the round, you want to use a special, kind of like a last minute thing. So personally, I think he's not super OP. I think he's fine the way he is. Obviously, like I said, if you guys disagree or agree with this tier list, let me know in the comment section. But I feel like he's not super OP. I see a few people use him, so I'm gonna put him in B tier. I think he's in the middle. He's not terrible. He's not super good. I think he's pretty fairly straightforward. Oh god. Okay. Everybody's favorite robot now. We've had everybody's favorite mech. Everybody's favorite robot. I'm gonna put Bastion in S tier. Um, this guy is ridiculous. Okay. In Overwatch 1, he was OP. He was ridiculous. He was broken as anything. And as you lot probably know, if you've been playing Overwatch 2 as much as I have, or you've just seen it online somewhere, you might have heard about it. Bastion is not in the game at the moment in Overwatch 2. He has been removed. They removed him very quickly. I feel like I would imagine a lot of people, got annoyed with him and how broken he was with his mortar ability and his tank ability and all of his different abilities. Um, I think they did change his ultimate in this one. In Overwatch 1 you can turn into a tank, but in this Overwatch 2 his ultimate you can turn into a mortar and you get to choose like three locations where you want to fire it and stuff like that. So yeah, he's broken. I personally think, he deserved to get, removed from the game. He's been removed for a good while now, and there's rumors saying that Bastion will come back in the Halloween update, which is in a few days, as far as I know. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what they've done with him and how they balanced him out. Because personally, he's one of the most broken, damaged characters in the game. Personally, I think, and he's super easy to use. He's not, you know, difficult. He's not, too much to learn at once or anything like that. He's pretty straightforward, and once you learn him, you can get play the game pretty much every single game. So yeah, he got removed from the game from Overwatch 2 for now. He's been removed for a couple of weeks now, I think. And there's rumours that he's coming back soon. But yeah, in terms of popularity and OP and broken, he's S tier. I don't think there's anywhere else I could probably put him. Winston. I haven't played loads of Winston, I'll be honest with you. But obviously I've been recently been playing some mystery heroes. I've been playing them once or twice. It doesn't seem too bad. I'm gonna put him C tier. Personally, I think for a tank, he does his job. He distracts people. He's not a OP tank like Diva with her special, or an OP tank like Roadhog. We'll get to Roadhog later. But I personally think Winston isn't like super OP. I feel like he's fine. He's a little bit underwhelming, but I feel like as a tank, he's literally just a crowd control character. So you're not going to be dealing loads of damage, you're not going to be killing loads of people. You're going to be soaking in the damage, protecting the team, getting on the front line and stuff like that. So personally, I think Winston is a C tier. I see a few people use him, but in terms of how I've used him so far, I don't think he's that incredible. Maybe I could, need to get a second look on him. You never know. So next up, we've got Curs3d, the main man himself. I'm gonna put him B tier. I don't think he's too OP. I feel like in Overwatch 1 he might have been a little bit more dangerous, but in this one he seems relatively the same, personally. The stun grenade is a little bit annoying. I see a lot of people just rushing in, stunning everybody, then using the six shooter um, ability. And yeah, I see a lot of people doing that. But in terms of like killing, he's super easy. I think he's got like what 200 health, 250. So he's really easy to kill. He's not um, dangerous, but his special can get on the wrong side of your team 100%. So for example, he's behind your entire team on the payload on Gibraltar or a different kind of map. He can easily get behind your team with his special and basically just one shot all of you. Depends on how much health you lot are on. But apart from the special, I think he's alright. I feel like he's Zenyatta a tiny bit. He's not incredibly great. He's in the middle. I don't think he's ridiculously OP. Up next is Sigma. I think he's. I don't know about Sigma. I haven't played him loads. I've seen a lot of people play him. I'm gonna put him D tier. The reason why I'm putting Sigma in B tier is because due to the fact that I haven't played him loads, I've came up a lot. Like I've came up against a lot of Sigmas in Overwatch 2 since I've been playing it since it came out. And the amount of people that stun me with that rock, the ability where he fires a massive rock at your face and you knock on the floor for like 2 or 3 seconds, the amount of people that do that, and it's really, really annoying. His special isn't terrible. I feel like it does a decent amount of damage, but you really, really have to be on low health in order to do anything with his special. You basically like pull him up in the end and you slam people down on the ground again. Basic attack wise, it seems alright. His shield isn't ridiculously, you know, too healthy, if that makes sense. So yeah, he feels okay. He's not. I don't think he's up there with Diva. I don't think he's in S tier. I think he's in the middle. The only thing I would change is probably that rock ability because that's the only thing that really annoys me about his character. Apart from that, I feel like he's pretty laid out nicely. I don't think he's too much of a threat, but maybe in the right hands, he definitely is. Widowmaker, I'm gonna put her A tier. I think Widowmaker's still got it. Um, she's still relatively the same. Personally, I have played a little bit of Widowmaker in my time. Um, I know a lot of people that have, played her a lot, like Finn, for example. I would imagine Finn's watching this video because he's a fan of Overwatch. In the hands of Finn or any other good player, she is dangerous. They can land some nasty headshots on low level characters and health characters like, for example, D.Va when she's out of her mech. Ashe, you can have Mercy, Mei, Kuriko, Sombra, Tracer, any of these low level, low health characters, low defense characters can basically do like wiped out by her within one or two shots. If you land a headshot, it's more than likely going to be one kill. Obviously, if they have a little bit of shield from Lucio or someone like that, then it will take a couple more. But even a body shot, as far as I know, has been thrown around quite a bit that she's still got it, and I've seen a few people use her, a handful of people. She still looks fantastic. Um, but yeah, I think as a whole character, she in popularity she's still up there. And personally, I think I would choose her over Ashe, but due to me being a little bit weird with the aim on Overwatch, I think Widowmaker is probably A tier for me personally. So oh god, this thing is annoying. I'm putting her A tier, S tier. My apologies. I called her Osiris, but her name is Orisa, or whatever her name is, and she is probably, I will say, besides Roadhog, the most used tank in Overwatch 2. Oh my goodness! Every single game I put in my G, um, I either see her at the start of the game for the entire game, or I see someone switch to her if they're getting their ass kicked. And personally, this four-legged, six-legged, how many legs robot needs to be brought down to reality. She is annoying. She is OP. All of her abilities are just so brain dead, and I personally think alongside Bastion, I feel like she needs to be removed for like a couple of days, maybe a week at max, just to be tweaked a tiny bit because her spear can grip people against the wall. She can turn into gold for a ridiculously long time. And it gives her a shield. Her special is really annoying because you can barely walk out of it with characters like Lucy and Kuriko. Literally everything. She's just really, really annoying. And pretty much any game or every game you go into with Overwatch 2, you see one of these four-legged horses running around with a spear. And the one ability I hate is the one where she spins her spear around in a circle constantly. It's ridiculous. Like, for example, if an enemy does that in a corner, you cannot escape. Literally, I've tried it. She needs to be sorted out as soon as possible. Baptiste. Uh, this might be a lot of surprise to a lot of people. I'm gonna put Baptiste in C tier. I don't think he's incredibly damaging. In the right hands, a few headshots can definitely take out a few low health characters. He does struggle against tanks. I will say that, and obviously I feel like at long range, his weapon is obviously a 3 round burst. So I feel like at long range he does struggle as well. I feel like you need to be medium to close range in order to do anything. His special's pretty cool. If I was including his special, I would probably put him B tier, but for the character as a whole and how much I played Baptiste, if Lucio is never available, I feel like C tier is personally where he should be. I don't think he's super broken. I don't think he's the worst healer in the game. I don't think any of them are bad healers. I feel like most of them are decent. But yeah, I feel like Baptiste, I played him quite a bit. And he used to be really, really, I don't know, rewarding whenever you get the kill. But I feel like with him nowadays, it's just I don't know. He just doesn't seem like he was on Overwatch 1 personally. Let me know if you agree with that one. I feel like I'm being a bit harsh there, but as a whole character, I feel like he's pretty decent. I feel like maybe a tiny bit more damage would help him a tiny bit more. Damage at long range, I should say. But if you're up close and maybe medium range, in the right hands, especially if you know how to aim, headshots with this guy could definitely reward you with some nice kills. So If you don't have aim, then I don't think you're gonna have a great time with him personally. But yeah, I'm gonna put Baptiste in C tier. Ash is up next. I'm gonna put her B tier. I think Ash is like one of the more rounded out characters. I don't think she's ridiculous. I don't think she's super terrible. I think um, compared to Widowmaker, she is a bit more balanced, I would say, as a sniper. She's not really a sniper, but she's definitely a long range kind of character. And you know, I've used her a little bit recently. I used to use her quite a bit in Overwatch 1, and she felt similar in terms of like getting the kill, damage at long range, close range is pretty decent. Um, you know, she's not one shotting everybody like Widowmaker is. Ash here is just doing her thing. You know, I feel like she doesn't need any upgrades. I feel like she's pretty decent where she is. Bob is kind of annoying. I feel like Bob would put her up in A tier, but if I'm not going off of a you know, purely off of specials here, I feel like as a base character she's B tier. But if I included Bob, which is a special ability, I put her in A tier. Bob is ridiculous. He's super difficult to take out for some reason. I really struggle sometimes to actually get rid of him. Maybe it's just a character I'm using. Maybe. But I feel like her special is a little bit broken. Bob has a lot of health, and he has aimbot, which is obviously what you expect from a computer based or computer generated character. But yeah, I feel like as a base character, Ash is pretty fun to use, pretty rewarding. Not a one shot hit to the head. Maybe at different ranges, that might be different at like medium range or close range. But as a whole, I feel like she's pretty decent. I don't think she needs many, you know, nerfs or upgrades. Up next is Genji. In terms of popularity, I see A tier. Um, and I'm gonna keep him there. I feel like he's not broken. He definitely is a little bit of a threat in the right hands. I see a lot of people use Genji. To be fair, his popularity on Overwatch 1 was incredible and incredibly high. And I feel like in Overwatch 2 it hasn't really shifted much. I feel like people still like him. And yeah, I feel like he can deflect bullets pretty well. His special's still decent, I guess. And if you definitely know how to use Genji, then you're gonna have a great time. But if you have no idea how to use him, like me, I would probably put him down in C tier. But in terms of popularity and how many people use him and what I've seen people do with him, I'm gonna put him in A tier. Up next is Soyohorn. So Shojohorn. I don't know how you say her name, but as Orange calls her, the Soldier 76, which is this guy here, the Soldier 76 ripoff or the B-Tech. I don't know. I feel like D tier personally. I'm going off of the other new characters. There's only three new characters. We've got the other two still to come yet. I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen many people compliment her as much as Kuriko. Junker Queen's more in the middle. Personally, I feel like some people have said some good things about Junker, but most people like Kuriko, which is this character here. So Junker Queen here is good. I feel like Kuriko is definitely up there. But this character kind of fell off the radar, in my opinion. I feel like you know, you get these other simple characters like, you know, you get Soldier, you get Reaper, you get even Junkrat, Tracer, and Hanzo. You know, you get all these other pretty straightforward damaging characters that are, I don't know, I wouldn't say easier to use, but they just feel better. I haven't played loads of Theohorn, but I haven't seen her be played a lot either, which is kind of worrying. You know, with the new characters coming out, it's kind of the first thing people look at. It's like, oh yeah, three new characters. I'm gonna play each of them, every one of them, and see how well I do. Maybe I haven't seen the right person play this character yet, because most of the people I've seen don't know what they're doing with this character. I could be wrong. I guarantee you there's some good people out there that know how to play her. But from what I've seen in my personal experience, I don't think she's up there. I really don't. Maybe, like I said, maybe I haven't seen anyone play her well yet. That maybe she'll change in the tier list ranking. Let me know what you think about that one. Might be a little bit controversial. Up next is your girl. Flipping now. Orange's favourite character. I'm gonna call her Pink Hair for now. Because if I say her name, Orange is gonna get very upset. So we'll call her Pink Hair. I think she is I wouldn't say broken as Orisa or Bastion, but believe it or not, Bastion is a damage. I personally think it should be a tank. kind of. Maybe like a damage tank, kind of like Doomfist and Junker. But yeah, I feel like I wouldn't say she's as OP as Eva. I can take. Put it this way, I've seen a lot of people use this character, and I feel like she definitely can be a little bit dangerous. But I feel like whenever I play Junker Queen, and I play I might be a bit biased here, my apologies, but I play Junker Queen quite a bit, and considering this girl is a tank, I don't think she is that threatening. She can be really annoying with her shields, don't get me wrong, and then, if there's a good player on their team that know how to play her, she can definitely do some damage, but I don't know. I feel like for a tank, she is pretty easy to kill sometimes, or it really does depend on who is playing the character. So personally, I'm actually gonna put a B tier. I don't think she's crazy. I feel like she's all right the way she is. Shields don't last long. Her gun is relatively balanced. And yeah, I feel like compared to other tanks, she's in the middle, the same as Sigma. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that one. But yeah, I'm not saying her name because I know Orange will probably watch this, and I know for a fact if I do mention her at all, he's just gonna flip out. So I'm saving your ears there, Orange. Don't worry. Junker Queen, I would put her S tier. Now I'm not gonna be biased. Alright, I'm not gonna be entirely biased. I'm gonna put her A tier. Okay, I don't think she's broken. But definitely in the right hands, my hands, she can do some crazy stuff. If you know how to play her, she all of her abilities complement one another. So what I mean by that is, all of her abilities do damage over time. So the knife that you throw and pull people back with does damage over time. Her axe does damage over time. You know, all of these bleeding, as I could say, bleeding effects complement each other, and the more bleeding you stack up on the enemy, the more damage you do, and her shotgun has pretty good range. I've killed people at quite good ranges with this thing, especially when they're low health. And as a shotgun, you would expect it to be very close range. Now, don't get me wrong, close range with this girl, this woman, I should say, with this character, her shotgun is good at multiple ranges, personally. But if you're facing for example, a Roadhog, I've faced loads of Roadhogs with Junker Queen. They always pull me in. I then knife them and then just shotgun them two, three times in the face, and they're literally on low health. She has everything going for her. Her special is pretty cool. It blocks people from healing. It also knocks people back, and it's pretty useful, especially if someone else like Reaper or Soldier 76, two characters or other characters that can easily kill characters on their own. If she stops people from healing and gives people more damage, or for example, if you use a special in a group of enemies, you hit like all of them. If a soldier or a reaper comes in and uses their special, they're going to do more damage because of Junker Queen. And at the same time, the enemies cannot heal. No healers are allowed to do anything with this special because it stops anybody from healing. And that's including the support characters, so there you go, I needed a burp. But yeah, I think she's not broken. She's definitely in the right hands. Very fun to use, and I feel like out of the three so far, I think she is the most fun new character to use. Not the most broken one personally, but I think the most enjoyable to use. So yeah, maybe a bit biased, but that's where I'm putting my Junker Queen main right there. So Moira, oh my goodness, this character is brain dead. Probably, if I had to pick the most brain dead support character in Overwatch 2, maybe Overwatch 1 as well, as far as I remember. But yeah, Overwatch 2, this character is just ridiculous. You literally hold down. This is literally what you do. Yeah, you grab your PlayStation controller, you hold down R2, and that is it. You literally do nothing with Moira. She literally does everything for you. She can heal people multiple times. You can use the heal orb. You can use the heal spray. You can use your special as healing. You can damage people with your heals. What? No, damage people with your special, damage orb, and damage spray. So she's got like two sprays for healing and damage, two orbs for healing and damage, and two multiple specials, which is in one. So her special is if you aim at your aim at the enemy, you damage them. If you aim at your teammate, you can heal them. And I've seen, people that have not played Overwatch a lot, for example. I know Orange has used her a few times, Nick has used her a few times, I've used her recently. I can now see what people are saying about her. She is super easy to use, super, straightforward, and you literally just sit there and R2. That's all you need to do, really. She can teleport really fast and really far away if you're in tense or low health situations. But yeah, she is quite possibly for me the easiest, the most ridiculously stupid but fun, easy played game support character in Overwatch 2. That's just my opinion. Mercy, I d- personal experience, I put her down in C tier. I have no idea how to use this character, but in the right hands, she is annoying. Annoying, 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 annoying. The amount of people I have seen, not just Overwatch 2 and Overwatch 1 as well, that have what people call pocket tanks with Mercy is ridiculous. You literally, for example, there is a Reinhardt I feel like the two main tanks you see Mercies around are Reinhardt and Roadhog, but maybe Orisa as well. Those three always 9 times out of 10 have a Mercy with them, especially Roadhog and Reinhardt. You always see a Mercy just flying around the map, not even getting a single kill, running away every single time you see one or she gets damaged. I tell ya, Bouncy, Nick, Finn, Kudalati, whoever I play Overwatch with can definitely back me up on Mercy. I don't think she's broken as in, damaging people or getting easy kills or anything like that. She's broken as in how quick she can maneuver and get out of situations. Like, for example, you're capturing the point, you kill both of the tanks or the tank on the enemy team, she can literally just fly back to their spawn, and that's it. You can't kill her. She just keeps doing that the entire game, getting easy heals, easy XP. Like I said, I don't think she's broken in terms of like damage or getting kills, because she's rubbish with her melee attack and stuff like that. Nick has proved it. Um, but in terms of like maneuverability and healing and just pure flat out popularity and annoyance, she has to be A tier. I don't think she's broken like these three. I think if she was actually pretty good without healing and she actually could kill a good amount of people, then yeah, maybe S tier. But I think A tier is comfortable for her. May, I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen loads of her, and I don't think she's as OP as she once was. I'm gonna put her down in C tier. I don't think she in Overwatch 1 you saw a good handful of maids running around, freezing people constantly, and um I've seen a lot of people in Overwatch 1 abuse her special and freeze enemies. On the receiving end at the moment, I have been seeing one or two people use her, but I don't think she deserves to be above B tier. Personally, I think C tier is fine for her. Um, I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but I don't know. I haven't seen many people use her. I've used her once or twice on this Overwatch compared to Overwatch 1. I don't think she's as good as she was back then. Maybe they nerfed her a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me if they did. But personally, I think C tier for May is pretty comfortable. She's not broken. Her special ability is not terrible. You can survive it relatively well. And the only annoying thing I say about her is when she goes into like an ice block and heals up and then just runs off. It's really annoying. But apart from that, I don't think she's that much of a threat. Hanzo, I'm gonna put him C tier. I think Hanzo's relatively decent. His special is super easy to avoid. Personally, I feel like in the early days of Overwatch 1, where everybody didn't know what they were doing, I think his special was ridiculous back then. But now, he basically shouts out when he's using his special, and as soon as you hear it, you look around, you see the dragon before it even comes anywhere near you, and you just dodge out of the way of it. With pretty much anybody, any character for that matter. So, yeah, I think Hanzo, his special is easy to avoid. It obviously can kill a lot of people if you do it in the right spot or the right angle or whatever. But I feel like people nowadays, know how Hanzo's play, and I feel like I've seen a lot less of him I feel like a good character for him to be compared to is Genji. Genji is still up there in terms of like being used and damage, but I feel like Hanzo has fallen down a tiny bit, personally. But hey, let me know what you think about that one in the comment section below. As for the other characters as well, so Kuriko, I feel like she's B tier. Yeah, I feel like she's B tier. I feel like she's a lot of fun. I used her a little bit the other day on the 24-hour stream. We played what I think it was like 7, 8 hours of Overwatch 2, and towards the end for the last couple of hours, I did use her on Mystery Heroes, and from what I can see, she was pretty cool. You could teleport, she can throw multiple heals at people. Her normal attack ability was doing a lot of damage to her. I remember the other day I was playing on Nepal, and one of the maps I was facing a Widowmaker, and I know Widowmaker doesn't have loads of health as it is, but I feel like Kuriko definitely has some damage up her sleeve if you know how to aim with her. Because it's a tiny, it's like a piece of paper or something, or a piece of cardboard, and you throw it at people, and you have to land it. And I landed a headshot, like I said the other day, on an enemy, the Widowmaker, and did a pretty good amount of damage. I feel like in the right hands, definitely good, and I feel like in terms of popularity, definitely the most popular new character in my opinion. I've seen a lot of people like her, a lot of people use her, and I feel like she deserves a good spot. I feel like B tier, she isn't broken, she isn't maybe in the right hand she's definitely A tier, but I feel like for now she's put in B tier. Lucio, I feel like I'm gonna say B tier. I think Lucio in this game is the same as Overwatch 1. I don't think he's OP. He has one ability where you push people off the map. It's basically the I don't even know what to call it. It's the L2 ability, basically, where you amplify and you push people. Um, that only is used majority of the time if it's on the correct map. Now, the chances of getting the good map for Lucio is kind of slim, because even if you get Nepal or Greece, you still have to get the map where there's places you can knock people off of. And if you don't, then he is pretty decent overall. I don't think he's terrible. Um, I think he's in the middle. He's not OP. He's not the worst support in the world, in my opinion. But in terms of how easy it is to use him, and the only thing I know people that you know haven't played Overwatch a lot, the only thing I know that they struggle with is his wall running. People still need to get used to that, but apart from that, he's pretty easy to get used to. You basically just run around next to your team the entire game, giving them health, giving them speed, and players like Bouncy, for example, who's not played a lot of Overwatch in his time at all, has used him recently, and he's been like, yeah, he's actually really easy to use. So personally, bit of a shocker for most people. I could be biased and say, yep, I love him. I'm gonna put him S tier, but in terms of actual character, I'm gonna say B tier, personally. Reaper, I'm gonna put him A tier. Yeah, I'm gonna put him A tier. Now, the reason why I put him A tier is pretty straightforward. He's super easy to kill. He's super predictable. He's super easy to kill. Personally, I think his special is, looking at these characters now, they're the easiest. Besides Diva, besides Diva, besides Junkrat, besides Soldier, and maybe Cassidy, the most easiest special in the game by far. You literally just teleport into people. He literally has a teleportation ability. So if, for example, you're here, there's like 4 or 5 enemies over here, low health. You teleport in the middle. You click triangle. That is it. You're getting playing the game instantly. He's just super predictable. From someone who's played Overwatch for a good couple of years now. You read. Once you've been playing Overwatch a little bit like I have, you start to read every Reaper's play, especially if they're brand new players to the game, and you can tell if someone's been playing Reaper a while or they've been playing him literally a short amount of time, because there's no I don't know how to explain it, but there's no way to not know what a Reaper player is gonna do. You see him standing there like that, he's teleporting away. You see him run straight towards you and your team, or teleport in between you. Get out of there, because he's 9 times out of 10 gonna click triangle. In terms of weapons itself, the shotguns, the dual pistols or shotguns, whatever you want to call them, They do some damage. They definitely are up there, but the only reason why he's not S tier personally, he's super easy to kill. He's super low health most of the time, especially if I'm playing Junker Queen. And the one thing I love to do against Reapers and Soldiers and Junkrat with their specials, if, for example, if I'm playing Lucio and I give people shield with his special, or I use Junker Queen's Yell ability, which is the L1, you if you have shield 9 times out of 10, you can barely survive uh, his special. The same with Soldier and Junkrat. So he's super easy to kill, super predictable. You learn how people play with him super easily, especially if you've been playing as long as I have. And that's the only reason why he's not S is because his defense is absolutely stupid. You can even kill him when he's trying to teleport, which is ridiculous. Next up, we've got Anna. I'm gonna put a D tier. I don't like her. I never did. I personally think, looking at the support characters, uh, I think she is. I would say it's harsh if I say this, but I don't think she's the most funnest support character in the game. I think there are definitely more fun characters and more easier. I wouldn't say easier, but more fun characters and more um, enjoyable characters in terms of support and healers to play. You know, you've got Bridget, you've got Lucio, you've got Mercy, you've got Moira, which is super easy to use. You've got Rico, who just came out. You've got all these different support characters, and I think Anna, out of all of them, even compared to Zenyatta, I feel like Anna is definitely overlooked a lot, and I can see why. I don't think she's up there. I feel like maybe I've seen a handful of people in my Overwatch 2 time play her. Overwatch 1, you did see her a little bit, and she can be really annoying when she puts you to sleep. But apart from that, I feel like her defense is pretty straightforward. You can knock her out pretty easily and kill her easily. And 9 times out of 10, apart from putting you to sleep, she ain't gonna do much damage. She stops you from healing, but apart from that, I don't see her often. I haven't used her a lot because I used to use her a little bit back in Overwatch 1 and a little bit in Overwatch 2, but I've just learned to play other support characters um, because they're just better in my opinion. I never thought she was OP. I never thought she was, strong by any means. She's annoying, yeah, with one ability, but apart from that, I don't think she's that threatening personally. Um, Soldier. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna put him C tier. Now, this is going to be a controversial one. I personally think Soldier, his special, is still um, pretty decent. His Overwatch I'm going to compare it to Overwatch 1 here. In Overwatch 1, his special tactical visor, basically aimbot. You basically click triangle and then you just hold down R2 and let it do the rest for you. In Overwatch 1, it was pretty strong. It was definitely up there. You can wipe out like 5 people at once. You can definitely do that now, but I feel like nowadays he definitely relies on, you know, the enemy team being low health more. Whereas back in Overwatch 1, you could be full health and you could wipe out everybody. So I feel like, in terms of special, he is strong. Um, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me putting him here, but the reason why I put him C tier is I don't think his special is nowhere near as good as it once was. And as well as that, he is easy to kill. He even inside his ring of healing, he puts down a ring of healing, and then you can kill him in there really easily as well. He has a lot of recoil. That's one thing they definitely added with this character. He is a little bit annoying to handle in terms of recoil on his gun, and which is interesting because normally on a gun you get recoil when you aim in and you shoot, whereas this character you can't actually do that. You have to hip fire, which is very interesting. But yeah, I feel like he's nowhere near as good as he used to be. Um, but besides, I feel like personally him and Reaper, in terms of damage characters, are the two characters that everybody knows to play if they've never played Overwatch before. They're super easy to pick up. Him and Soldier and Reaper, they're super easy to use, and every new person is basically going to use them because they either look cool or anything like that. So yeah, I feel like Soldier's C tier. Junkrat, I'm gonna put him C tier as well. Um, in terms of special, so special, it's pretty easy to avoid. You like I said, it's similar to Hanzo in a weird way. You hear him basically shout or announce when he's using a special, and you literally just look around for it. You literally run away, let it go towards someone else, or use someone else's cover, and then it's pretty straightforward. I know it can one shot a lot of characters because a lot of characters here, now that I'm looking at all of them, do have some low health, and it's pretty easy to get killed with Junkrat. Um, I've seen a lot more people use him creatively, in terms of like putting people in traps and then blowing them up with a mine and launching in the air to get across the map or get to the point easier. I feel like he's more of a transportation character. Um, Nowadays, I don't know. Maybe people are using him differently to compared to what I'm used to. In Overwatch 1, he was pretty decent. I'll probably put him in B or A tier in Overwatch 1. But nowadays, I feel like he's alright. He's nowhere near as strong as he once was, besides his special. But in the right hands, he definitely could do some stuff. So, Symmetra, I'm gonna put a B tier. I think the main reason why I'm putting a B tier is because the main reason why is her sentry turrets. The sentry turrets are ridiculous. They do so much damage. They do more damage than most of these characters' ultimates, which is saying something. You put down three of these things in the most awkwardest spots ever, and people do it on the payload. People put them in rooms where you have to capture the one point. It's super annoying. They're super OP. Yeah, the only things personally I think that need to be nerfed on her overall, if you get rid of the sentries, the little laser beam sentry turret things, I feel like she's pretty balanced. She's not gonna kill you often. She's pretty easy to kill. But yeah, the only reason why I'm putting a B tier is because of sentry turrets. Otherwise, she'll be down in C's here personally. Her sentry turrets literally make her. That's the only reason why people use her is to get easy damage and easy kills with her turrets. So next up is Tracer. I'm gonna put a C tier. I don't think she's crazy. I have in terms of popularity, that's what I'm going off of here. In terms of popularity, I have not seen loads and loads and loads of people use her. Nowhere near as much as Diva. Nowhere near as much as Reaper and Genji. She used to be seen a lot in Overwatch 1 in terms of popularity. I saw a lot of people use her. I think she was a lot of fun to use personally. I feel like she's more of the more fun damage characters to use. She can definitely do some damage, especially if in the right hand people can just teleport all the way around your team, throw her special, which is basically a sticker grenade on the enemy team, kill like two or three of them. Her um guns are pretty good as well at close range. Long range, you're not going to be hitting anything. But yeah, I feel like overall in good hands, player maybe A or B tier. But in terms of popularity, from what I'm going off of right now, I'm gonna say C tier. I would like to see more tracers. It would be kind of cool. Wrecking Ball. I've seen a few people use him. I'm gonna put him B tier. I think he's alright. He's not crazy. He's not broken. He's not terrible. I feel like he's in the middle. His special is no longer um you know, as threatening as it was on Overwatch 1. If you haven't seen Wrecking Ball's special, he puts down like, oh, I'm gonna say 14, 15 landmines and that cover an area, and you literally can just walk around them. It's pretty straightforward, and you can destroy them relatively easy as well. So his special isn't crazy. Obviously, if you put it on a payload or on a capture point, he can be pretty cool to use. And I haven't seen loads of people get kills with the special, but in terms of the character as a whole, his transportation is a lot of fun. You can obviously roll around, swing across the map with his massive grapple hook, and he's pretty cool. I feel like he's pretty cool. I feel like he's not the most broken Diva and Osiris robot four-legged horse. I don't think he's the most broken tank in the game. I think he's pretty fairly balanced out. He's relatively easy to kill, especially if you're up close with Junker Queen or a Reaper or someone like that. And yeah, I think he's pretty cool. He's nothing to be terrible about. This guy, I can put him S tier. Come on, I had to put him S tier. He's as much as he's super easy to kill. I know how to deal with him, as a Junker Queen and other characters. But I feel like a lot of new people are running into Roadhog left, right, and centre. I'm still running into him a lot as well. He reminds me a lot like Taz from Multiverses. Super easy to get hold of, super easy to use, pretty brain dead, and no matter what you do, you're going to be dropping bodies left, right, and centre with most of his abilities. You just grapple in a Lucio, you shoot him. You grapple in a Widowmaker, you shoot her, you kill them both. You heal up a lot of health. Your cooldowns and your abilities are pretty straightforward. You can knock people off the map with his special. You can also lock people in a room with a special. By the way, thank you to Nick for doing that the other day. Um, he's pretty straightforward to take care of once you know how to kill him. Literally just aim for the head. That's literally all it is. And in you know even in the right hand, you can kill good people with Roadhog pretty easily if you know what you're doing. I've had a lot of experience facing Roadhog, let alone using him, and I now know how to kill him easily. But I feel like a lot of new players to the game that didn't play Overwatch 1, now that are playing Overwatch 2, are running into him and saying, oh my god, he's ridiculous. He is, but he's also super easy to get rid of if you know how to do it. He's pretty straightforward, but in terms of a character as a whole, I think S tier is pretty straightforward. You can heal instantly, basically, you can grapple everybody, you can survive most fights. He's always got a mercy on him if it's not Reinhardt. And speaking of Reinhardt, he is the next character. I don't think he's OP, but I'm gonna say A tier. I don't think he's as OP as Roadhog or Asira or Osiris as I call her, Orisa. I know her name is Orisa, but I'm gonna call her Osiris. I feel like Reinhardt is a very good uh tank. He isn't crazy damage. Um, But in terms of like defending and staying on the payload and staying on that capture point, being the last man standing but being the first man on the front line, he does so well at getting like two or three enemies on him at once and divert them from the point. So, for example, you and your team are about to win with 1% to go. This enemy Reinhardt comes along, most of your team goes after him, someone sneaks around the back and gets the winning point for the enemy team. Your team loses on 1% left. What I'm saying is, I feel like Reinhardt is not OP as in. It's similar to Diva. He's not OP as in like how to explain it? He's not OP as in damage. The only thing I would say is the charge ability. I know Bouncy loves that ability, by the way. He's been using it a lot. The charge ability with Reinhardt is kind of annoying. You can't get out of it, and if you're like, I don't know, if you're Tracer, Lucio, Ashe, Widowmaker, Diva outside of a mech, Moira, Sombra, even Pharah. Most of these low health characters, you're gonna get killed, and even with like a Doomfist damage tank or just a pure tank like Roadhog or Orisa, you're still doing some decent damage with Reinhardt. His special is pretty cool. You can slam him down on the floor, you can stun multiple enemies. It's pretty straightforward. It's not gonna do loads of damage. I don't think the stun time is crazy. I personally feel like Cassidy's, cowboy grenade stun is a lot more annoying than Reinhardt's special, but yeah, I think he's good in most people's hands. He's not crazy in terms of damage, but he's so good at diverting the play and breaking up people and singling people out, and then you can just finish him off and go keep doing your thing. He's super good at crowd control, and I think that's why he's OP. Up next is Farah. I'm gonna put a C tier, believe it or not. I used to see so many borrowers on Overwatch 1 and I know for a fact, Finn, if you're still in this video and you're still watching, I appreciate it first of all. Finn could back me up on this. In Overwatch 1, you would see these two characters together constantly. Ashe, Mercy and Vara. It genuinely was ridiculous how many times you saw a Farah flying around with a Mercy right next to her. They did not leave each other alone. It was basically for example, Gun Warfare 2 terms, it's like seeing three sunflowers next to each other, holding hands, reviving each other 24/7 for the entire turf takeover game. That's essentially what these two were on Overwatch 1. But in terms of Overwatch 2, I've not seen Farah. She's definitely fallen off a lot, and I feel like the past couple of days I have seen one or two people use her, but she hasn't done anything. Her special used to be ridiculously OP. You know, the rocket barrage. She basically shoots like 20 or 30 missiles at everybody. That used to be so broken on Overwatch 1. She used to knock people off the map easily. Even her normal rocket launcher used to be great. Maybe it's because I haven't seen many people use her. Maybe people have forgotten about her. But personally, I have not seen many people use her. I've seen a handful at most. And I feel like she, out of everyone, quite possibly could be the character that has fallen off the most in terms of popularity, in terms of how good she used to be compared to now. I don't know, she needs some love, maybe. Same kind of thing as Traitor. Up next is Echo. I've seen the people use her. Yeah, I'll put Echo B tier. She is pretty cool. I feel like she should be what Farah. No, she is what Farah should be. She flies pretty well. Um, Farah and Echo, in terms of defense, in my opinion, are relatively easy to kill. Um, Echo's ability where she puts like, there you go. I was about to yawn, but I didn't want it to happen. I feel like Echo's ability where she puts like 3 or 4 jelly, I don't know what, jelly particles, that's what I call them, jelly particles on your character's screen is pretty damaging, but I feel like she's in the middle. I don't think she's crazy. I haven't seen a handful of people, I haven't seen loads of people use her. I've seen a few people enjoy her. I know Nick was playing her the other day, and apparently she was alright. But yeah, in terms of other characters, I don't think she's crazy. I don't think she's the worst thing in the world. And who knows? Maybe I just need to run into more Echo in the future. Sombra, I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna put right here in terms of popularity and annoyance. This character is super annoying. I flipping hate it because the amount of times I played Younger Queen, you lot have been watching me play Overwatch too. By the way, thank you for the support on those streams. The amount of times, you lot have seen me play Junker Queen or any other character, Lucio, for example. Whenever I play Junker Queen or Lucio, I try and, with Junker Queen, I try and fight Sombra, but she hacks my abilities, and then I literally have to use my shotgun. 9 times out of 10, I still kill her. But if it's a good Sombra, she is going to ruin me. Same with Lucio. If I'm low health, I try and run away using the walls and running along the walls. A Sombra comes up, underneath me, hacks me, and then all my abilities I can't use and push people away or anything like that. Sombra is super annoying. In terms of popularity, she is still there. Same as Widowmaker, I think, and Genji. Um, and yeah, in terms of popularity and annoyance, she's definitely up there. I don't think she's OP in terms of damage. I'll probably put a B tier at most. Um, but yeah, I feel like as a character as a whole, I still feel like people know how to use her. And once people start learning her a little bit better, she can definitely do some. She's one of the more tricky characters to come up against. So, Bridget, I feel like she's decent. I'm gonna put a B tier. Um, in the middle, same as Lucio, same as Kuriko. I feel like and Zenyatta. I feel like as a support character, Bridget, I call her Bridge. I feel like Bridge is she's pretty alright. She's not gonna wipe out your entire team. Her special is relatively balanced. I don't think it needs to be nerfed or buffed or anything like that. In the right hands, she can do some relatively decent stuff, but yeah, I feel like she has a good amount of damage. Her whip is not crazy as it used to be. Her support way of giving out healing, she gets 3 like miniature orbs you can throw at people. They do not a huge amount of healing, but it definitely isn't broken. So I feel like Bridge is one of the more fairly balanced support characters compared to Moira, Mercy, people like that. So yeah, I feel like she deserved B tier. Torbjorn, I'm gonna put him A tier. This guy is coming up in the ranks personally. His turret is annoying. The reason why I would say he's better than Symmetra is because the turret can definitely be a pain in the butt to take out. I personally think that the turret has a little bit more defense or health than usual. As a normal character, if you take away his turret as a normal character, he is still kind of decent. I used him a decent amount the other day on Mystery Heroes, and his normal weapon, his reload speed and stuff like that is good. His range on his weapon is pretty decent. I think he has two ways of firing as well. Can't quite remember. His special I feel like is kind of useless personally. As far as I remember, you basically shoot a load of lava on the floor, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe his special needs to be reworked or something, or maybe given something a bit different. You can give shield to yourself as well, which can get you out of tight situations. But most of the time you see Torbjorn just chilling up on like a balcony area or behind a tank like a Reinhardt or a Roadhog, just putting down a turret, sitting there, repairing it, getting some easy kills with the turret. He's pretty decent in terms of characters. The only thing I'd say that's OP on him is the turret. Turret needs to be reworked personally. Maybe a little bit less health or a little bit less longevity or defense personally. But that's what I think. Next up is Doomfist. This is an interesting one. I'm gonna put him B tier. This guy used to be really scary on Overwatch 1. Used to see a lot of Doomfist running around, sometimes with a Mercy. But here's the interesting thing. Now on Overwatch 2, he is considered a tank. Now on Overwatch 1, if you played Overwatch 1, he used to be more of a damage character. I remember when Doomfist came out as well, he used to be very scary in terms of coming up against one and hearing Meteor Strike. Yeah, that's basically when he uses his ability. His ability used to be ridiculous. Kudalati has been playing a lot of Doomfist recently, and I've seen a few other people use him. I don't know. I feel like he's fallen off a tiny bit. He's still up there, but I don't know. Maybe as a tank, I don't think it's his role. I feel like he needs to go back to being a damage character personally. But in terms of travel and maneuverability, from what I've seen from Kudalati and other people, he can move around the map really, really quick. Surprisingly, for such a bulky character. But in terms of overall, I don't think he's crazy as he once was. I feel like he's fairly balanced out nowadays. Maybe you know, tone down where you punch people a tiny bit. I think there is a charge up ability where you do that and then you just punch someone. I think you can knock them off the map with it, or you can stun them. I can't quite remember what that ability does, but I feel like that one can. I've been the receiving end of that ability a few times now in Overwatch 2, and I feel like it could be reworked a tiny bit. But overall, I feel like Doomfist nowhere near as good as he once was, and I feel like a lot of people would agree with me on that. So there we go. That is going to be it for the tier list. I feel like I've relatively rounded them out a little bit. I feel like maybe some controversial things in there, different characters and where they are. But please do let me know what you think about this tier list in the comment section if you want to see more tier lists in the future on Overwatch or any other games for that matter. Drop a like on it. Let me know in the comment section what you think. If you want to see more and what you think about where I put these characters, make sure you subscribe if you want to see more. Like I said, we're on the road to 1.5k. You can also become a member on the channel. Shout out to James, by the way, for joining the members yesterday. Huge thank you, James, once again. And like I said, if you guys want to become a member, there is a join button next to the subscribe. Get involved with the channel by joining the Discord, sending me a friend request on there, or joining the Reddit page. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll be live streaming Garden Warfare 1 or 2 tomorrow. If it's Garden Warfare 1, we'll just play regular games, or if it's Garden Warfare 2, we'll be doing the next pack and play. So, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you look after yourselves. Have a great rest of your day. Most importantly, though, look after you, your friends, and your family. Stay hydrated, keep on gaming. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.